Welcome to Royal Pride. I'm here with Eastern Hancock Athletic Director Aaron Spalding. As always, it's good to have you with us, Aaron.
Great to be here.
Well, we've had a lot of our winter sports starting to wrap up now with sectional and tournament time, and we've had some success. We're going to start first with our boys in the wrestling program. I know before the sectional, we also had our own invitational, and I think they had some success with that as well.
Yeah, we were champions of our own invitational, as you mentioned. Now there were some weather concerns that day. It ended up not being much weather, but we ended up just having a 4-team invitational that day. But we did come out victorious. I think that might be the third year in a row we have been champions of our invitational. Earlier in the year, they had run the invitational at Cambridge City, so they had some success heading into the tournament.
Excellent. Then in the tournament, I know we had some individuals that advanced out of the sectional, and then a couple that even advanced into the semi-state.
Yeah, we had one sectional champion. Our sectional took place at Shenandoah. We had Josh Robinson at the 285-pound class was actually the champion of the sectional there. Now, the way that wrestling works, in your sectional, if you finish in the top 4 in your weight class, then you advance to the next round, so that on to the regional. And we had some others advance on to that regional. Jack Smith at 120, Gabe Blake at 138, Jordan Wills at 145, Brandon Francis at 170, and then Alexander Burton at 220. All of those finished in the top 4 and then went on to the regional at Richmond High School. And then from that point, Jordan Wills and Josh Robertson also finished in the top 4 of their weight class. So they advanced on to the semi-state at Newcastle, which was just this past Saturday. And unfortunately, they didn't make it to the state finals, but a pretty good showing by our grapplers on the mat there in the tournament.
Excellent. I know Coach Oliver's happy with that and looking forward to next year. How many graduates does he have this year?
Let's see. Gabe Blake is a senior. Josh Robertson is a senior. Brandon Francis is a senior. I know. I apologize. I also missed one other who qualified for the regional. Kobe Hunt also, I believe, is at 170, and Kobe's also a senior. So those all qualified for the regional, and then we have, I think, 4 seniors who will go on. The exciting thing for our wrestling program, we'll talk more about this later in the show, but for the first time next year in a long time, we'll be in a conference that has the ability to compete for conference championships. When we were previously in the Mid-Hoosier Conference, very few of the schools had wrestling. I believe of the, do we have 8 or 10 schools? Anyway, only 3 of them had wrestling, so it was not enough for a conference meet. But next year, like I said, we'll talk about that a little bit later, our wrestling has another thing to shoot for going into next year.
Another one of our sports who have ended their season is girls swimming. Boys swimming is still taking place. This is the sectional week for boys swimming. But the girls swimming, we had some success at the sectional as well. Several girls, or a few girls who moved into the finals for the second day of the sectional and had some success there as well. And I'm sure we talk every month. I'm sure there were some records.
Yes, absolutely. We had great success as a group in swimming. Now, swimming is different than some of our other individual sports because the way that's set up, it's sectional and then state. So you go straight. So making that state finals is, we hope to have that sometime, but we have not yet. But how we do in that sectional and show is a big test of where we feel we're at. And they did a great job. Just to go through some of the highlights, and by the way, our sectionals at New Pal, they scored 180 points at the sectional, which is 78 more points than they'd ever scored in the sectional in history. So, not quite double, but, darn close. Finished 2 spots higher than we did last year as far as overall. If my memory serves me correct, we were 7th in the sectional. So finished 2 spots higher.
And that's important because it is one class.
Yes, it's one class. Yeah, we're not.
If we were with Carmel in Carmel's area, we'd be in their sectional.
Yeah. So we finished 7th, and as you mentioned, as always, I want to mention just shows the improvement our girls are making. We had several records broken at the sectional, and I want to go through those. The 200 medley relay. That team of Kell, Prophet, Griesmeyer, and Ray, they swam a 2 minute 6.13 seconds. That's 5 seconds off the previous record. Shelby Kell broke 3 records. Well, really, she's involved in all 5 of them, but a couple of them are relays. She broke the record for the 50 freestyle at 26.29. The 100 backstroke at 1:05.10 took 3 seconds off her previous best. And then the 500 freestyle was really impressive. 5:34.53 took 22 seconds off the previous record. And then one other relay, the 200 freestyle relay team of Markham, Griesmeyer, Huffman, and Kell swam a 1 minute 51.49 seconds. So really proud of Coach McCormick and the girls and how they showed in the sectional. And as you mentioned, this week will be our boys sectional, and hoping for some similar results. The improvement from our boys this week, and hopefully next month's show we can be talking about a lot of their accomplishments in the sectional.
Excellent. And I believe Shelby is a senior. Is that correct?
Yes, Shelby is a senior, so obviously she'll be missed greatly. So hopefully we'll have some girls step up and can carry on the tradition and keep moving our program forward.
Excellent. Well, we've got a couple minutes left in this segment. So you mentioned earlier that the wrestlers would now have a conference to participate in. And we this year have been an independent in all sports. So I know you made an announcement through the paper and through our Twitter feed and everything earlier this month. We now have a conference home, correct?
Yes, we will be part of the MEC, the Mid-Eastern Conference. Us, along with Shenandoah, will be joining that conference. Some schools that our audience would be familiar with. Blue River is in that conference, Daleville, Wapahani, Cowan, Monroe Central, Randolph Southern, Union, Westdale is in that conference as well. Hopefully I haven't forgot anybody. I'm sure I have. But there's 10. There'll be 10 total. So we're looking forward to it. We feel it's good that our kids, it's something for our kids to compete for, especially as you mentioned earlier in our independent sports. Our individual sports, because there's not a class system. So it's somewhat unrealistic for us to think we're going to go beat Warren Central or somebody like that in sectionals and stuff. As a team, we feel like we've had some individuals advanced, but as a team, that's a pretty tough thing to do. So this gives them an opportunity of schools that are about their size to compete for a team championship. We had a lot of great success in individual sports and where we just came from, the MHC, and now we hope to give our kids again the opportunity to compete for those team championships in the MEC.
Excellent. I think the kids are excited, the coaches are excited, hopefully the community is excited as well. We're going to take a quick break here on Royal Pride. When we come back, we're going to talk boys and girls basketball.
A neighborhood drive-up builds their menu around locally sourced foods. A community-owned telecom delivers fiber optic bandwidth that helps them leverage high-performing technology with lower startup costs. Turns out, Going local doesn't just mean fresh, it means better. Ninestar Connect. Community owned, community strong.
Welcome back to Royal Pride, and for this segment we're going to talk boys and girls basketball, but the girls season just wrapped up. They had some huge success in the tournament. For the second time in history, they were the sectional champions, and in doing so beat the #1 team in the state.
They in the sectional, our sectional was at Knightstown, and we defeated Irvington Prep on Friday night. We got the bye, which I'm a little jealous because as a boys coach, I've never had the bye in 18 years. But anyway, 17 years. Maybe this year will be the different. Draws coming up. But anyway, we got the bye. We beat Irvington Prep Friday night. And then, as you mentioned, got the privilege of playing the #1 team in the state, Triton Central, who I believe was 23-1 coming into the game, if my memory is correct. I may be off a game or two on that, but regardless, and it was one of those nights where we just really played well, and we were able to beat them, and really led a real good portion of that game. It wasn't a fluke by any stretch. We played very well, and congratulations to Coach Meneely on that victory. As you mentioned, the last time we won the sectional was in 2001. So, great accomplishment. And then we went to, just this past Saturday, participated in the regional. Way the tournament's set up, it's a 2-game regional, and it's played in the same day. They played at Speedway High School. In the morning game, they played South Putnam. And we were also victorious in that. We won 52-44, and then going forward, we played Saturday night at Speedway and took on Covenant Christian, which I know in the Sagarin, I don't know what their AP ranking was, but they were the 3rd-ranked team in the Sagarin in Class 2A. So another really tough team, and unfortunately, we came up short there, lost by 8. But it was a really close game. I think we were at one point, we were down 2 with maybe 3 minutes to go, and then some things happened, fouls, those types of things. So really, proud of the girls for their tournament run. They finished in what sometimes we call the Elite 8 of the final 8 teams in Class 2A, and that happens to be the furthest any girls team in Eastern Hancock basketball history has advanced. So, as I mentioned, congratulations to Coach Meneely and the girls on a great tournament run.
Well, and the Covenant Christian team I read in one of the news articles, I think they lost 9 games, but they lost their first 5 of the season. They started the season 0-5, and they play a little different schedule than we do.
Yeah,
I
believe they either beat Cathedral or lost to him by 1.
Yes.
So, like as you mentioned, that's a little bit different sometimes your record can be a lot different on who you play. Very, very good basketball team. We had played them earlier in the year, and they beat us, soundly, 15-plus points. So our girls obviously had a great effort and gave themselves a great chance, and we're real proud of them.
Excellent. And also we had not only the second sectional championship, but another 1,000-point score, which is the 3rd?
Yes, the 3rd in history. Emily Carlton, just a couple games before the regular season ended, surpassed 1,000 points in her career. Just the 3rd girl in history to do so. So congratulations to Emily on that accomplishment. That's obvious. Longevity. She's played now for 4 years and been a very big contributor for our team for that year, and has steadily done a great job for us. So the girls, overall this year finished 15-11. They battled injuries and those types of things, and as a testament to them, kind of hung with it, and they're at the end really came together. And as a coach, I know you always want your team to be playing their best basketball at tournament time, and they certainly did that.
Excellent. Well, a great season for the girls. The boys' season still going on. The sectional draw is this Sunday coming up, so we'll find out who we play in the sectional here in just a couple of days. The season, though, has been pretty well lately. We've had a couple of good wins against some quality teams. We've competed with some others that were really good, really high in the Sagarin teams, and the boys really seem to be coming together and playing well.
Yeah, right now we're sitting at 12-7, which I feel with the schedule we play is they've done a good job. Obviously, you always want we'd prefer to be 19-0, but the kids have done a great job. Especially in close games this year. This year we're 6-0 in games decided by 5 or less points, and that's kind of a flip-flop from last year. Last year, I don't know the exact number, but I know we lost 3 games by 2 points, so we weren't winning those, and thus, our record was not nearly what we would have liked it to be last year. This year, we've flipped that, and we are winning those games. As I mentioned, 6-0, and I believe we maybe have some footage. We won at Trident Central, which is a good win. Trident Central has a nice team, kind of a back and forth game all night. They hit a 3 with, I believe, 7 seconds left, and then we took a timeout. A lot of times, as a team, you worry that your kids are going to be deflated because we had led on a good portion of that game and down 1, but got the ball in. Assentrue took it full court and got a little bank shot off the left wing to go down to basically win at the buzzer. So those are always fun games, maybe for the fans, not for the coaches, but we're able to finish that. So proud of them. Some other great accomplishments. 9-1 at home this year. Have our final game tonight against Morristown, senior night. So really proud of the kids. I did also want to mention we had to reschedule the Broad Ripple game. We didn't reschedule it. Saturday night was when our girls were in the regional, and we were scheduled to play at Broad Ripple. So we wanted all our people to be able to go to that game. So we we told them we couldn't play, and we couldn't come up with a date that worked for both teams. So we've actually picked up a different opponent. So if you're following our schedule, we now will play Hauser High School at Hauser on Tuesday night, this coming Tuesday, February 21st, to replace that game.
Excellent. Well, we've got a couple other things to talk about in boys basketball, but we're going to take a quick break right now. We'll be right back with Royal Pride.
I'm Dana DeJarnette. I live in McCordsville, Indiana. I have 2 children. I started working from home 1 to 2 days a week because the kids' schedules and getting them off the bus and being able to be here when they get home really helps with a single mom, a single schedule with children who are very active. I need to be able to monitor my day around having my internet. So I recently built the home and moved in about 6 months ago, and one of the deciding factors in moving to this area was being able to be a Ninestar customer. My previous provider did not have an option for fiber optics. So if I did not have the reliability that Ninestar provides, it would be very hard for me to work from home. When my kids come home from school, and often they'll have a friend come home from school with them, and they rush in and they want to play video games and they want to get on the internet and do certain things that it doesn't affect, because we do have that dedicated line, even if there's 8 children here. Everything is set up, surrounded, so that everybody can be connected. I wanted my children to be able to sit here and do their homework. I wanted them to be able to be talking to me and be around me while I was cooking dinner. Personally, I would never want to give up my Netflix. I had no idea how much of a difference it would make to have fiber optics. It is faster, it is more reliable. It's definitely something I would not want to be without. I would not want to go back to a cable provider, I can tell you that. It's very important. It's very important for us to stay connected however we need to stay connected.
Welcome back to Royal Pride, and we're going to continue with the boys basketball talk. One of the things you mentioned is senior night. We have a special event tonight during our senior night. We don't have any players who are seniors tonight, but Michael Rumler is a senior for us. Some may remember the football game at Lucas Oil Stadium where he got a chance to run a touchdown into the end zone.
Yeah.
And so he's going to have a special event tonight as well.
Yeah, Michael has been a manager for us. He's a special needs student, one of the most positive kids you'll ever meet. And I think he knows our schedule better than I do. He tells me where we're going to be, when here, and he's just a great young man. We are going to honor him tonight. We have a little special one-on-one battle planned for him tonight with another one of our students. So we're looking forward to that. And as you mentioned, this is the first in my 18 years we have had no senior basketball players. So I guess what that means I have to put up with my Yahoos again next year for all of them again. So, so I guess that's a good thing.
So all the seniors will be starting tonight, right?
That's right. So anyway, that's tonight, senior night. We'll also be honoring all our winter athletes, wrestlers, swimmers, girls basketball players, as to mention some other clubs, some of their seniors as well. So looking forward to that tonight.
Excellent. And our 5th and 6th grade boys had some success I believe it was last weekend.
Yes, last weekend at Union County. They both went there and were champions of the Union County Invitational, the 5th grade in their side of it, and the 6th grade in their side of it. The other 3 teams, there's a two-game tournament. They played Cambridge City, I know, in the first game, and then I believe they both played Centerville in the championship games. Union County was the obvious other team, but I believe both Centerville teams won those games and went to championship. So, proud of those boys for their accomplishments.
Excellent. And before we move on, I know you don't want to talk about this, but we'd be remiss if we didn't. Tuesday night when we beat Blue River became your 200th win overall as a varsity coach, and every one of them has been at Eastern Hancock.
Yeah, as I've said, it just means I've probably done this pretty long time. So the only thing I'd say, is a lot of people, a lot of kids, a lot of coaches that have been involved, and those are things that matter. And like I said, it just means I've been here a long time and got the opportunity to be with a lot of kids and a lot of coaches that have been real enjoyable over that time.
We've had some really fun years and some really challenging years.
That's right.
Over that time, but I think sometimes wins and losses don't really see the success of teams, and I think we've talked many times in the past. Some of the teams that we thought have had the most success are not necessarily the teams that even finished above 500.
Yeah, I specifically remember a team that actually won 6 games in mid-2000s. That I think we finished 6-15 or something like that. to be honest with you, I've thought, maybe our talent level, we probably shouldn't have won any games. Now I don't want to slam that team's talent, but I do want their work ethic and their ability to pay attention to detail allowed them to have an amount of success, and that's really what you're as a coach. You want your kids to push past what their abilities are, and if a team's potential is to win 4 games, and we want them to win 6 games. If their potential is to win 18 games, we want them to win 20 games. So, that's really what you're looking for as a coach.
Well, and as I recall, I believe that team was one of our best defensively in terms of points given up.
Defensive and rebounding, they were outstanding.
So they had talents in their own right.
Yes.
So maybe not the ones that are always recognized, the guy scoring 30 points a game or things like that.
Absolutely.
Well, sectional starts February 28th for the boys. The announcement again for the draw is this Sunday, so we'll know that the next time. Well, the season will be maybe into the semi-state time area when we talk to you next. Hopefully, we're still playing.
Yeah, that'd be great.
But a couple other announcements. We have our big 3-on-3 tournament coming up with our boosters.
Yeah, that'll be March 18th, 3-on-3. If you are interested in that information, you can go to our athletics website, ehathletics.org. You can get information on that. For some old timers out there, or some adults, we're adding even some real popular last few years have been our adult divisions, where we're adding B divisions now. So, there's your type of people who are real serious about coming and competing, and there's those who just want to come and have a good time. So we've added the B divisions for those adults who, just kind of, play every month or two and just want to come out in a good time. So hopefully we got possibilities for all ability levels and ages.
And then as we wrap up here, we did have 4 new inductees into the Eastern Hancock Athletic Hall of Fame.
Yeah, we had, as you mentioned, 4 new people. David Dunbar and Joe Havlin were inducted. They were state finalist wrestlers in the early 80s. They were inducted to the Hall of Fame. Jeremy Weishart was a football player, great linebacker. I think is our all-time leading tackler in EH history. If my memory serves me correct, I apologize if I'm wrong there. And then Lexi Vince was a fantastic hurdler for us. She made it to the state finals and went on to have a great college career as well. I want to say Franklin, or maybe it was Hanover. I don't know. Regardless, it was a small college, and I think she owns all their records in hurdles as well. So those 4 individuals were honored as part of our Hall of Fame.
Excellent. Well, thank you again for joining us this month. I'm Tim Rutherford for Aaron Spalding, saying we'll see you next month on Royal Pride.